We have an economic and moral imperative to pass big, bold, and inclusive immigration reform.
We intend to work together to pass fair immigration legislation that strengthens America.
A comprehensive law on immigration has been a goal in Congress for years, but lawmakers have not been able to reach an agreement on what should be included. Today, the U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021 was unveiled by congressional Democrats and the White House.
Well, how would the immigration measure in Congress affect DACA recipients right here in Utah?
Fox 13's Diego Romo spoke with one of them about the legislation.
The new immigration reform bill introduced Thursday by congressional Democrats and President Joe Biden wants to create a fast track to citizenship for DACA recipients, among others. Although the bill faces an uphill partisan battle, one Utah DACA recipient says he is hopeful the bill will pass.
We just kind of want to belong. We want to really kind of feel like this is our home, because we don't really have another home. This is where we've lived for most of our lives.
The bill, called the U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021, would provide an immediate pathway to citizenship for undocumented immigrants brought to the U.S. as children. This includes DACA recipients as well as those under temporary protected status.
We would just like to have some sort of security, some sort of, belonging in kind of an emotional, mental and legal sense, really.
If passed, the bill would also replace the word alien with non-citizen in U.S. immigration laws. Gomez says the move would help humanize undocumented immigrants across the country.
Because we might be non-citizens, but we are people. We're not aliens.
Utah Congressman Burgess Owens tells Fox 13 that he supports a legal pathway to citizenship for DACA recipients, but does not agree with other key pieces of the legislation.
We also have a lot of people waiting in line right now. What about those folks who are waiting in line, doing it the correct way? Where do they stand? Should they be put in the back of the line because of this process? That's why it's important to have this done legislatively, so we can have a conversation about it.
For Gomez and his family, who've been in the U.S. since the mid-90s, there is optimism, but also a bit of anxiety as they await the fate of this new bill.
Every time it comes up to the floor, any variation of it, we're always a little hopeful. We're always a little worried what it could mean. If it gets rejected, what's going to be the opposite backlash of it?
The bill has a narrow pathway through the House where Democrats hold a 5-vote margin, but faces issues in the Senate where Democrats would need 10 Republican votes to get to the 60 needed for the legislation to pass. In Salt Lake City, Diego Romo, Fox 13 News, Utah.